Derek Overstreet, founder of the New Millennium Group. We're a financial planning firm. We have advisors standing by right now to take your call. 888-999-6370. The reason you're going to want to call is we're going to help you retire 3 to 5 years before you thought possible. The way we do this is by putting together a step-by-step plan. So if you're one of those people listening and you'd like a plan in writing, give us a call at 888-999-6370. That's 888-999-6370, or go to utahsfinancialplanner.com.
Only one type of burger. For every pallet. Fries are extra. Large in size. We've got the shakes. Going over the brim.
Hey, this is Chris from JCW's. Put a positive, delicious spin on your day at any one of our 5 locations. In Lehigh, American Fork, Provo, South Jordan, or Harriman. JCW's, quality and a lot of it.
All right, PK, for people who missed it, the news is about 1 hour old now. All the people who cover college basketball tweeted out this morning, Utah State has their man, Ben Jacobson, coming in from Northern Iowa, where he is the head coach and has been since the 2006-2007 season. He has had a long run there. He's had 4 NCAA tournament teams. Made it to or 5 NCAA tournament teams, rather, my bad, and made it to a Sweet 16 once upon a time. So an accomplished guy, not necessarily the young guy on the way up, but a guy who's got a track record. He was there as an assistant coach before he was the head coach, so he'd kind of been a lifer there at Northern Iowa, but it turns out he's not a lifer. He's headed to Logan.
You know, we thought Whittingham was a lifer, so, I mean, nothing can surprise you when it comes to that stuff. I think that, maybe on appearance sake, who knows what's going to happen, but maybe they got somebody who might stay there if he has a little success and is not because of the age, not that he's that old at 55, he could still coach, easily another decade, if not longer, that he might not be so inclined to take off. And so maybe they could have some continuity there because it's been amazing what they've been able to do with the lack of continuity in the coaching staff. And I think that the current state of college basketball has led to that because guys can transfer and become immediately available eligibility-wise. And you look at Sprinkle was the guy who did it probably the best in terms of bringing guys with him that could be immediately eligible, right? I mean, he had 2 guys, a power guy and a point guard that came with him that were big-time players, and so they took advantage. So you can see how it can be done, but it's still hard to do that. You got to have the guys who are willing to go and be good enough once they get there, just rather than just simply be willing to go. And it worked out, and it's worked out for 3 guys basically since Smith took off. Now maybe here at 55. He may be inclined to stay. I have no idea. It may blow up. Maybe he has 2 great seasons and he's gone, or 1 year. Sprinkle, I think, was only there 1, so you never really know.
Yep.
But it seems it's a little bit of a different model, and it's certainly someone who is accomplished. You can't argue that. The success is there.
There's tons of it. I mean, there's you look at his record year to year. He's had a couple of lulls and been able to dig out of it. He's adjusted to this new era. They've gotten better 4 years in a row. One of the lulls, they had a 14-18 season in the Missouri Valley Conference in 23, but they came back with 19 wins, 20 wins, and this year 23 wins, and they went to the NCAA tournament. So he's adapted to the new world order. I mean, you could look at everything else he's done, but the world was so different. I mean, he's had 30-win seasons and all kinds of stuff. So
yeah, and I would think that his success is not built on largely money.
I'd be surprised if they were outspending the league, but I don't know anything about that. But Northern Iowa, the assumption is you're right, not built on money. Not that I'm following the Missouri Valley Conference, but
well, the lower you go, the logic reasons that the less money you have. Now it's relative. Yep. You're right, because if he's competing against everybody who has less money, then what difference does that make? But nevertheless, it's it hasn't been a simply, well, we got a lot of money, so we'll win. He's had to have the ability to develop talent and identify, like the Utes did in football for so many years, identify and develop, and go from there. And I really think that, to me, that's the mark of a coach, is what you do in your league, because things are more balanced in the league, right? Mm-hmm. And so not one team has a significant advantage or disadvantage. So nothing is really even, but you're in that group, and if you're having success in that group, that means you're pretty good to me. So the qualifications clearly are there. That's zero problem from my perspective. I like the fact that maybe he's a little older. Maybe that went into it, and he would be more inclined to stay. That'd be great if he stayed there for 10 years.
You can definitely look at the age and make that assumption if you want, but I think the stronger thing that if he got questioned on it, he would point to is that, well, he stayed at Northern Iowa for 20 years as a head coach, and he was there for 5 years as an assistant before that. So there are people who move around a lot, and that's not his resume.
Right, but I don't think you're going to go from Northern Iowa to the Big Ten, where I think you can go from the new Pac-12 to the Big Ten or the Big 12.
If he comes in and has a crazy year or two, who knows what program has an opening in a year or two and throws who knows what kind of money and resources at him.
This very well could be a stepping stone if he has major success in 2 and 3 years, because of the fact that it's at a higher level, and especially if he squeezes out a Sweet 16.
It sounds weird to say this because the Aggies are going on their 6th coach in a decade, but man, maybe Aggie fans should think, hey, if the big dogs come calling, there's only one reason, and that means the Aggies have been crushing it again. So if there's another tourney went out there or a Sweet 16 or whatever, well, you and I have been big on continuity. We've seen continuity pay off over time, but man, the Aggies have been able to handle all kinds of change. And maybe in this era, that's just the way it's going to be anyway. So if you're rebuilding teams every year, maybe the lack of continuity with the coach doesn't matter quite as much, because every coach is putting together a team every year. We can run that past Steve Cleveland. He's going to join us next. Stay with us.
You deserve to feel better today. At Harper Clinic, patients report sleeping deeper, thinking clearer, and feeling stronger, because mental health care is more than emotions. It's about your whole body. Work to lower your blood pressure, even boost your immune system. Get help to manage stress, focus, and reconnect. If you're facing anxiety, depression, or just feeling stuck, call Harper Clinic, 801-306-2345, 801-306-2345 to start feeling better.
Make game day yours. Tickets, food and drinks, stats, and streaming. Everything you need is in the Utah Mammoth app. Download today and make game night easy. Download on both Android and iPhone. Just top.